Disclaimer: this video is created strictly for education purpose and demonstration hacking techniques and concept in a controlled lab environment. All activities shows are conducted on system that I own or have explicit permissions to test it. I don't encourage or promote any unauthorized hacking or malicious use of the content shared in this video. Unauthorized hacking is illegal and punishable by law. By watching this video, you acknowledge that Piber Academy and I as the creator are not responsible for any misuse of the information presented. Use this knowledge responsibly and only for lawful purpose. Stay safe, stay ethical, and thank you for supporting. Hello everyone, welcome to Pbird channel. I'm so super happy to meet you all with another interesting series. In this series, we are going to see the most popular and powerful Nmap tool. Nmap is an open source tool for penetration testing and the ethical hacking process. Nmap is a network scanner which is used to discover host, open ports, system loopholes, network vulnerability, and services on a computer network by sending packets and analyzing the response. I have divided the series into three parts for better understanding. In part 1, we are going to see Nmap installation on Windows and Linux, basic scanning techniques, and also we will see the advanced scanning, port scanning, OS directions, operating system versions directions we will be doing, and versions of software. If suppose anything applications installed there, so we will be identifying the version, what is the version is there, and also we will doing aggressive mode scanning in part 1. In part 2, we are just going to see Nmap script engine, NSE. Using the script, we just going to find the vulnerability scanning. We will be also seeing DNS scannings and we will get the DNS informations. And also we will be doing banner scanning, SMTP scanning, and SMB scanning. In part 3, we're just going to perform Nmap without getting detection by firewall and IDS. End the series with tips and tricks. This series is for all cybersecurity professionals, students, and beginners. When I complete this series, you guys will have a good amount of knowledge of the Nmap tool. These are the topics we're going to cover in this part 1. Nmap installation on Windows and Linux, basic scanning techniques, advanced scanning, code scanning, OS detection, version scanning, aggressive mode scanning. Nmap or network mapper is one of the most popular free network scanning tool. They can navigate through firewall, routers, IP filters, and other systems. Some of the use cases of Nmap: identifying the live host on the network, identifying the open ports on network, identifying the operating system of service on the network, and address the vulnerability in the network infrastructure. Is scanning with Nmap illegal? Scanning network that you don't have a permission to scan can get you into trouble with your internet service provider, the police, and possible even the government. Don't go off scanning the FBI or any secret service website unless you want to get into trouble. How to install Nmap? Before we get to how to use Nmap, we are going to look at how to install it. Nmap is available for Linux, macOS, FreeBSD, and Windows. I'm going to install Nmap in Windows and Linux. Please comment if you want to see the Nmap installation on macOS. Download the Windows version of Nmap from nmap.org. The latest stable version is Nmap 7.92 at the time of recording. Let's quickly go and download. So I have launched the setup program and I'm just agreeing it. And I'm just going with the default installation program because we need to install the entire Nmap suite of the utilities, because I'm not modifying anything, and just click next, and it is asking for the destination folder to save it. I'm just clicking install. So let's wait the installation to get complete. So I'm just giving the other library files, agree, and I'm just installing the Ncap in the PinCap compatibilities, and it is installing it. The Nmap to function properly on Windows platform, so do not skip the steps. Everything, click next and install all the necessary utilities. So Nmap is successfully installed it. Let's go and quickly check it over there. Go to Nmap installed directory. So sorry for the typo. There should be a space. Okay, And let's quickly run a scan. Nmap scan me dot insecure .org. This is a website, free website, is Nmap created for testings and those things and all. So you can scan this website. So let's quickly run it. So Nmap is working and you can see this scan is started. So now we have successfully installed the Nmap on Windows machine and we are able to run a scan from the terminal command prompt via. So scanning is completed successfully and these are the ports are open in this website. This is a completely demo site which is created by Nmap for testings and educational purpose. So you can do it. Okay, so now we will see how to install Nmap in Linux system. Let's quickly go and see how to install Nmap in Linux system. For Debian based system, you need to use this command sudo apt install Nmap. For Red Hat or Fedora based, you need to use command yum install Nmap. Okay, so I am using Ubuntu, so let's Debian based one. So let's go and you install Nmap. Install Nmap and enter. It will ask for the password. Let's give it, and the installation is starting. Do you want to continue? Yes. And the package is getting downloaded. Nmap package has successfully we installed it. Let's go and quickly clear it. And let's see the Nmap. Okay, so the Nmap is successfully installed on it. Let's go and see the Nmap version. To check the version, Nmap-v. So the version of Nmap is 7.80 at the time of recording. So we have successfully installed Nmap on Windows and Linux. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to completely do all my demonstration scannings and everything in a Linux platform. But the commands and all other things are quite similar. You can use it in the Windows as well. Okay, let's go back to the slide. Scanning techniques. This session covers the basics of network scanning with Nmap. Before we begin, it is important to understand the following concepts. Firewall, routers, proxy servers, and other security devices can skew the result of an Nmap scan. Scanning a remote host that are not on your local network may provide misleading information because of this. Some scanning options require elevate privileges. So log in as a root user or to execute Nmap using the command sudo. Aggressive scanning, some system may cause them to crash, which can lead to the undesirable results like system downtime and data loss. Always scan the mission critical systems with caution. Let's do a ping scan to identify whether the IP address are on or online. To do that, nmap-s p and the network ID with the subnet. So here I'm just using 172.16.0.0/24 CDR value. Let's wait. It will scan completely and let me know whether how many machines are available or not available. So it says that only one machine is up, which is 172.0.2, which is that one, and one more machine is up. So only out of this subnet, only two machines are up. So it scan almost 256 IP address. Out of that, 3 host scan is up, and it says like it took 6.48 seconds to scan this one. Let's go and quickly run a single target scan. So the command is sudo nmap, and I'm scanning the local host, which is the same machine, and it prompt the password. The scanning is completed. So this is how you can run a single target scan.
And this port number is the port number which is port is open or closed. What is the and the status will stay whether it is open or closed, and the service, which is what service is running on this port number. If I want to do a multiple target, so you can use to scan the multiple hosts at the same time. The easiest way to do is put the string together or the target IP address or the host name. So the command is sudo nmap localhost, and I'm one more thing is I'm just doing is 172.16.0.3. So all you need is if you want to do multiple host scan, just give a space. So at the same time, you have scanned two host machines. One is your local host and the IP address, other IP address you have given us, you have hidden. So when I'm running a scan, you see that this is our filtered, which just means there is a firewall is exist. So that is why you are able to see filtered. If the firewall is not there, the packet able to penetrate it. So you will see the all the ports numbers are unfiltered kind of things. Let me clear it. Let's scan an entire subnet. So using this command, you can scan the entire subnet. Sudo nmap 172.16.0.0/24. So this will scan and it will give all the information ports opens and which all the host machines are up. It will take some time. Yeah. So the scan is completed because since it's running it, this is in my lab environment. So few machines are up. But if you are doing the same thing in a bigger environment, it will take a lot of times. So you can see this is it scanned all the machines which are active and it is up and running on it. If I want to scan particular range of IP of if it is a target specific, how to do is sudo nmap 192.16.0.12 and want to scan 0.1 to 0.3 IP address. This is how you can do a scan of range of IP address specifically. Okay. So the scan is completed. You can see this, the range what I given it is scanned. So it scan 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 below. So remaining it not good. So this is how you can scan the range of IP address. Let me clear it. So if I want to scan a list of target, if you have a large number of system to scan, you can enter the IP address or host name in a text file and use that file as your input for it. So let's go and quickly create a sudo nano list.txt file. And I have already mentioned a few IP addresses over there. So you can see this is I have mentioned over there. So it's 172.16.0.25. So let me save this file. The command used to scan this one is sudo nmap -il. So this parameter used to instruct the nmap to extract the list of target from the list.txt file. So here we given this one. Whatever the you mentioned IP address, it will scan it. It means whatever you mentioned over there in the IP address, it just scan those IP address alone. So this is how you can scan a list of target if you have a large number of systems or you want a specific event. Using the list, you can scan the web. So you can do a random target scan as well using sudo nmap -i r parameter. This can be used to select a random internet host or to scan it. Nmap will randomly generate the specific number of targets and attempt to scan them. There are many good reasons to ever do a random scan unless you are working on a research project or you just really bored. Additionally, if you do a lot of aggressive random scanning, you could have end up getting in a trouble with your internet service provider. So I'm not going this one because it will pick the random internet host to scan it. I don't want to get into trouble, so I'm not doing this option. So if you enter it, it will pick the random internet host address and it will start scan and it will give you the result of it. So I'm not going to do this one. So let me exclude the target from the scan. If you want to, if you're running a scan, if you want to exclude certain things, you can exclude it. For example, how to do is sudo nmap and 172.16.0.0/24, and I want to exclude my gateway IP. So I just you need to use the exclude command 172.16.0.1, and if I enter, it will scan all the machines. What are the host or machines are up? It will scan on this range, but it will exclude this IP address. You can see this one. It is scanned all the up machines, and it start from 172.0.2. It excluded the gateway. Even you can exclude the files from the file also. So if suppose you have a thousands machines and you don't need to scan a critical servers, then you can put all them, drop them in the file, and you can scan it also with the exclude file options as well. So the command is same, nmap, and the subnet mask is 172.6. I'm just giving the IP address. It can be default for you. And use this command exclude file, and we're going to use this list.txt file. And what are the IP address you have mentioned in this list? It will be exclude. Remaining things it gets scanned over. So you can see this one. It's excluded all the IPs, and only the host machine up is 0.2. That is what not in the list. So that's why you are. See, for example, I'll show the list cat.txt. So I have mentioned 1.2, 2 cents. So 3 is there, 2 is not there. That's why it is excluded. So you can perform an exclude scan. Do not worry, I'll be giving all the commands in the description. You can use it for your practice, or you can use it on your penetration testing. So let's go and quickly see the advanced scanning. Before seeing the advanced scanning, let me explain how this TCP works on it.
So there is a one client, and this is server. So TCP actually use three-way handshake, which is sync, and acknowledgement, and acknowledge. So using this three-way handshake, the client and server will establish the connection. So first, the client will send a sync packet, and the server will send a sync next sequence of sync, and it will give the acknowledgement. And the client will give an acknowledgement. This is how the connections will be established, and it will be transferring it. The TCP have a different types of flags as well there. There is a null flag, faint flag, RST flags, acknowledgement and sync flags. So using this in TCP advanced scanning, we're just going to use these flags. And when we are talking about the scans, I'll be more detailed about talking about the purpose as well. So let's go and quickly go back to the TCP advanced scanning. So let's do a TCP sync scan. To do that, sudo nmap -s and s sync, and the target is 172.16.0.3. So you guys remember that means what this will do is it will send only the sync packet alone. It will be keep sending the sync, and it will drop. Once you send a sync, it doesn't bother about whether the server is sending back the sync or acknowledgement. It's not worried about. Only it will keep sending the sync, and the scanning will be doing on it. By doing this one, the scan will be get completed quickly, and also you cannot means it will be shelf scan. So let's go and quickly run this one. I'll go a localhost one. Okay, so you can see the same kind of results, but it will do only sync scans. So what you'll do is in this one, it will send only sync packets to that one, and it collect the information. So by doing this one, the scan was completed little. So you can see the earlier it took a if do a comparison, right? So let's do nmap localhost. So you can see the difference. It took 1.99 seconds to complete the local scan, but it took 1.80 seconds to complete this scan. There are slightly seconds differences there, but when it comes to the larger amount and when you are scanning the network, right, since it is a local you are seeing it, but when you are seeing different networks and you're doing a remote scan, so that time the scan will be get completed quickly, and it's also a stealth scan so that the detections will not happen much from the firewall or those things. Next one is TCP connect. A TCP connect is a main alternative to the TCP scan when user cannot run a sync scan. So there are spaces where sync scans are restricted. So those where you can use an alternative method, TCP connect. Under TCP connect scan, if the user issue connecting systems can establish a connection with the network. Instead of reading through packet response, Nmap use this call to pull the information about each connection's attempt. One of the biggest disadvantage of TCP connect scan is it takes longer to target open port than syscan. Sudo nmap -s t and let's give a localhost. So compared to that one, TCP scan, it took 1.8, see, it took 1.05 seconds. It's faster. Yeah, it's little slow, but wherever there is a restrictions, wherever the sync packets you cannot able to run a sync scan, then you can use this alternative as a TCP connect, but you will get a response set. There are some places UDP will be running on it. For example, if you want to scan a UDP related service things like a DNS, DHCP, so those you want to scan it, yes. If you want to run a port scannings on UDP services, then UDP scans are the best course of action. UDP can be used to scan ports such as DNS, SNMPs, and DHCP on your network. These are particularly important because they are an area that attackers commonly exploit. When running a UDP scan, you also run a sync scan simultaneously. When you run a UDP scan, you are sending a packet to each target port. In most cases, you are sending an empty packet besides port like 53 and 161. If you don't receive any response after the packets are transmitted, then the port is classified as an open. So to do that, sudo nmap small s and the u. The u option is to perform a user datagram protocol scan, and you can give the target. So in our case, I'm just giving the localhost target. So let's go and quickly scan this one. So you can see this one, and it gives the informations like this is filtered, because the filter is, again, I told you. So these are the firewall is there, so that's why you are seeing the filtered one. And you can see these all UDP protocols, which is UDC 631 and it's UDP, and 5353 UDP, and the services what is running. You can see this one. TCP null scan. A TCP null scan is one of the most crafty scanning technique at your disposal. This works by exploiting a loophole in the TCP RFC, that denotes open and closed ports. Essentially, any packet that doesn't contain sync, reset, or attack bits which prompt a response with a return RST. If a port is closed, or no response if the port is open. The biggest disadvantage of TCP null scan is that you can navigate your way around router filters and firewalls. Even though these are the good choice for stealth, however, they can be still detected by IDS. A TCP null scan causes Nmap to send a packet with no TCP flag enabled. This is done by setting the packet header to 0. Sending a null packets to target is a method of tricking a firewalled system to generate a response. So let's go and do this. Sudo nmap -n and localhost. So wherever there is a filtered those things, you can use an nmap's null scan, TCP null scan, to get the results. Next one is TCP fin. So it's a part of a flag. So it's what we'll do is TCP nmap -s f is perform fin flags, which is a finish flags. So instead of sync flag, it will send only finish flags and it will try to get the results. So you can see these results. Only scanning rates will be different, and each scanning have a different purpose. So certain areas you cannot do a sync scans because skin scans are blocked it. So there you have to use a TCP connect. If you want to use a more shelter scan, so you can use a TCP null scan. So wherever still you can detect it, but yes, it is good for a shelf. And the fin scan itself gives a more advantages. Again, it scans slow, but there are areas where you are finishing it's basically you're terminating the connections, trying to give a finish answer. So using that flag, you are getting those informations of known ports and services which is running on this machine. Nmap marks the TCP bits actively when sending the packet in attempt to solicit a TCP acknowledgement from the specific target system. This is another method of sending an unexpected packet to a target in an attempt to produce results from a system protected by a firewall. Let's go and see the next scan is TCP acknowledgement scan. Sudo nmap and S, A, and E. This option can be used to determine if the target system is protected by firewall. When performing a sync ACK TCP ACK scan, Nmap will probe a target and look for RST response. If no response is received, the system is considered to be filtered. If the system doesn't return a RST packet, then it is labeled as unfiltered. So basically, it will send an acknowledgement and see if there is a RST thing. If it is RST is received, if it is receiving, it says like these are the 1,000 ports, which is you can do first level one. These are all not protected by the firewall. So you can understand whether using this TCP acknowledgement scan, you can understand whether these are firewall protected or not firewall protected. So based on this RST response, you can come to the conclusion. So this is the advanced scanning. Let's go and quickly see port scanning. There are total 1,31,070 TCP IP ports are there. Out of that, 6,553.35 TCP and 65,535 UDP ports are there. By default, Nmap will only scan thousands of most commonly used ports. This is done to save the time when scanning multiple targets has a majority of ports outside the top. Thousands are rarely used. Sometimes, however, you may want to scan outside the default range of port to look for uncommon services or port that can be forwarded to different location. This session covers the options which allow this and other specific ports investigations in finding. Let's go back to the terminal and clear it. Sudo nmap -p. P is the option used to instruct the nmap to specify the scan port. So I want to scan only the port number 80 and target is 172.16.0.3, which is any web service is running or not. I'm just specifically scanning, and it says that it's filtered and there is a HTTP service is running on this machine, and it basically filtered in the sense firewall is protected and host is up. If I want to scan all the ports numbers, specific something else, so what I can do is, if I want to spare range kind of thing, sudo -p #, so it will scan all the 65,535 ports will be scanning on it. On target machine 172.16.0.3. It's a long scan. Sorry, I forgot to give Nmap. So it's basically scan all the 65,500. It will not miss any port. But this is a lengthy scan. There are specific reasons you will be doing on this one. But by doing a lengthy scan, there is a chances you will be get detected by the IDS firewall and get blocked to your, means you'll get blocked, your IPs get blocked over there. So this is a bigger scan. Scan is completed. So you can see it scanned almost 8,320 scan ports in this one, all filtered, which is there. It's not filtered. Everything is firewall protected. So basically it is disabled and it's not running. And only once you can see this is a time frame how it took all it. So by using this one, you can scan all the ports. And if you want to scan only top ports is options to scan specific numbers of top ranked ports. So as I said, by default, Nmap will scan thousands mostly common used port. By using this option like sudo nmap, so this will reduce the numbers and it will check only the scanned top portions only there. Top ports, and you can give the target 172.16.0.3. So I'm just giving integer, okay, 1. Okay, so it scanned almost everything and it's giving the information. Yeah. So by using this option, you can scan only top ports, which is majorly used ports or top common ports. You can do it all. So this is how you can do a port scanning over there. So let's go and see OS detection. Another one of the Nmap useful function is OS detections, which is operating detection. To detect the operating system of the device, Nmap send a TCP and UDP packet to a port and analyze its response. Nmap then run various trends from TCP ISN sampling to IPDP sampling and compare internal database, which is a 2600 operating systems, and if it is find a match or fingerprint, it provides a summary consist of provided names, operating systems, and version. So if you want to know whether it is a Linux machine or if it is a Mac OS, if it is a Windows machine, yes, you can use this OS version detections using, then you can find this one. So let's go and quickly nmap, sudo nmap. Before that, let's clear this one. Sudo nmap, and the command is O, and let me give this IP address 16.0.3. Let me start the scanning. Okay, the scanning is completed and it says like we ran this OS detection. Let me make it, maximize it. And it says too many fingerprints matches to this host, giving us specific details. Sudo nmap -o localhost. So it says that it says very clearly this host is up and 1000 ports are closed and what else is running. And so you can see this, it is running on Linux machine. So basically this machine is a Linux machine, as it says Linux machine, and it gives the version of it as well, kernel versions. So that basically using this, you can perform a kernel based exploits, you can vulnerabilities, kernel burst vulnerabilities, then you can, yes. So this is how you can use the OS version detections, and you can understand, then you can try to pull the right exploit to the picture. Because if it is a Windows machine and the exploit what you're trying is a Linux based machine, it's not going to help. So yeah, so by using running a OS scanning, you can understand what exploit, what version, what is vulnerabilities you can do it, understand, then you can prepare a right exploit on your penetration process. Let's go and see version scanning. Version scanning detects is the same given to the command that allow you to find out what software version in a computer is running. What set it is apart from most other scan is that port is not focused on its searches. Instead, it tries to detect what software a computer runs using the information given by an open port. You can use version detects by typing just svv command and select your choice of IP address. The process of identifying a targeting operating system and software version is known as TCP IP fingerprinting. Let's go and see what is the command. Let's clear it. Sudo nmap sv, and we will run the localhost again. So in this scan, it will tell all the what are the services running and what is the port number. Using that software versions also we can find the vulnerability exploit. If suppose that application is vulnerability and if you have a exploit with you, then you can penetrate into that operating system. This is application and what is a version. If suppose you see any version vulnerability, then you can create an exploit and you can penetrate into the system, as I said earlier. You can increase the visibility. When running any scan through Nmap, you might require more information. Entering the visible command -v will provide a more additional details on what Nmap is doing. So sudo nmap localhost -v. So basically, this will tell you what is happening and everything and all this. Will see it's initiate the self scan and scanning the port numbers, and it's detected and it is completed. So if by using this command, you can understand what is happening in the scan. So because instead of a blind what is happening, you can understand what is happening in this ones and those things and all. Let's go and let's see the last topic of the part one is aggressive mode scanning. Aggressive scan selects some of the most commonly used option within Nmap, and it is provided as a simple alternative to type a long string of command line argument. So what this will do is, if this is aggressive scan, most commonly it will do a OS scans, it will do a stealth scan. It's automatically take care of what is required to automatically do. You don't need to type or you don't need to select everything. It will detect, means it will use only the most commonly used options within Nmap, and it is easy for us. So to perform Nmap aggressive scan, so all you need to use is parameter sudo -a localhost, and I'll give a v, so that let me understand, shall we show how what is happening over there. Okay, my bad, again I missed Nmap. So let's wait for some more time, it will show set it. So there are this several advanced options like our operating system will show, trace route will show. So it's basically initiating a script. Anyway, in part 3 we will talk about more thing about the scripts, so you don't need to worry about it. So it's initiating some scripts over there, and it's scanning the ports and again discovering, and it is initiating the voice detection. So by using this one, you can understand the ports to open, you can do a version scan, you can do a voice detections. So it's all, and everything is automated, so that you can give it, so you can understand. See, it gives a more detailed one. So even this is a port share and HTTP method, it gives a more one. So it's basically it's a run a script, mostly common things, and it gives a one. But as I said earlier, you need to be more cautious when you're running aggressive mode scanning. In this chapter, we are going to see Nmap script engine NSE, and using the script, we are going to perform vulnerability scan, DNS scanning, banner scanning, SMTP scanning, SMB scanning, FTP scanning. When I complete this course, you guys will having an advanced knowledge in Nmap. For YouTube algorithm, please give like and comment on this video, so that this video will be visible to the folks who are looking for it. What is Nmap script engine? The Nmap script engine, NSE, is the one of the Nmap most powerful and flexible feature. It allows user to write and share simple script using Lua programming language to automate a wide variety of networking tasks. Those scripts are executed in a parallel with the speed and efficiency you expect from the Nmap. To run Nmap script, the syntax is sudo nmap script, and you can mention the script name. You can find the Nmap scripts on this path, ls-la/user/share/nmap scripts. So you can see there are a lot of Nmap scripts are there. So to update this script, what you can do is, let me control exit, sudo nmap script update, and it will prompt you pass the password, and it seems like it's updating the database. It check all the things, and the script is updated. So almost all the scripts are up to date. So using this command, you can update your script. One more thing is,
These all the scripts will comes along when you are trying to install the Nmap. So you don't need to install separately any scripts or something else. It comes with it when you are installing Nmap. It comes with all the scripts. Let's try Nmap scanning with the different scripts and let us see the results. To make this video more interesting, I am running Metasploit table to a vulnerable machine. You can do your penetration testings or you can do a practice. This mission is completely a vulnerable mission and the purpose is to practice. So I have already, it is the Metasploit 2 I have downloaded. I'll be giving the link in the description. You can go and download from the Vulnub. And I'm just going to perform all the Nmap script scan on the Metasploit table tool. Let's go and start the one. So the password is for this to login in MS table is ms first admin and ms first admin. Okay, so we are in. So let's quickly and see the IP address. 172.16.0.26. And one more thing is important thing is this, since it is a vulnerable machine, so please ensure it is not exposed to the network. Use a network or host based address. Let's go and quickly run a small test scan. Sudo nmap and the target IP is 172.16.0.26. So these are the servers and ports are running. It's just generic scan. I'm just running on it so that you guys will get the idea. So as a first script, let's go and do a vulnerability scanning. So before starting the vulnerability scanning, just understand what is the scan tools. So these scans scripts are used by penetration tester and hacker to examine the common known vulnerabilities. Common known vulnerabilities and exposures (CVE) is a database of publicly disclosed data security issues. It serves as a reference model for detecting the vulnerabilities and threat related to the security of the information systems. So as long as we know the vulnerabilities, we can come with the right exploit and we can get into whatever we wanted, we can do it on it. So the exploit databases which is our referings are exploit DB, OSB BDB, security tracker, OpenVAS, script vulnerab DB, Xforce, security focus, and CVE. So these are the database it's referring and giving the word. So let's go and quickly run the vulnerability scan. So let's go and see what scan is there. Script is running over there. So to know that, let's user share nmap script and grep. Let's use a grep. I have made a Linux tutorial. I'll be giving the link in the description for the beginners so that it will be easier. It will be easier for you guys to understand what this commands and everything and all. So basically this grep command, I'm just going to do a pipeline and narrow down. I want only vulnerability scripts on this path. So that will give me the things. Okay, so there are a lot of vulnerability CV numbers you can see. So you can specifically, if you want to do a vulnerability scans on specific CV numbers, yes, you can do it on it. But I'm just going to use this script. So to run it, sudo nmap script. Let me copy and paste it to avoid typos. And the target mission is 172.16.0.26. The scanning is started. Let's wait for some more time to see the results. Okay, so it seems like it's just doing on it, but it is not showing the result. Okay, so I find the what is this thing. So what we need to do is a syntax error. So we have to give SP and let's run the scan. So it will take some amount of time, but let's wait for the scan to complete. So what basically will do is it will check for the when so this SP, right? So this will give you the version. So based on the version, it will do a comparison with the CV database and it will give the information of it. So you can see this one. So these are the information. See what are the vulnerabilities running, CV number, it gives all the things and all. So let me go to the top of the scan. Okay, so you can see that there is a SSH services running on it. The version is 4.7p1, and you can see the what are the vulnerabilities are available, and even you can, based on the CV numbers and Metasploit frameworks, you can execute and you can whatever you can based on this one. Maybe this will give you see the exploits are available for this open source, so that maybe you can take a control of it. So maybe you can since it is SSH, you can take a remote of that machine. So using this exploit, you can take it over there. So yes, using Nmap script, vulnerable script, so you can uh, understand what are the vulnerabilities and exploits are presented, vulnerabilities exist on this machine. Okay, so the next script is we have data vulnerability scanning. So the next is DNS scanning. So basically DNS is a domain name server, so that all your queries will be getting resolved, and it's revealing the information, what is your the paths are existing, and what kind of it's basically it's a gathering of your DNS caches and bridges, and DNS root server authorities and those things, and all informations can be doing by DNS scanning. We can do it on it. So let's go and see what are the scripts available for DNS. So user share nmap script, and let's put a grep -e DNS scripts. So this will give you the one just series DNS scripts. So you can see that DNS backlist, you can see the details of this one, or you can uh, update your DNS queries or those things, or even you can do a zone transfer. So basically zone transfer is try to get all the information. So this is always, it's a usually the system administrators, so we'll be configuring the zone transfer, because if they are having a multiple locations to speed up this, they will be have a multiple DNS servers will be there. So using this zone transfer service, so they can means the informations will be transferred, so that it will be the queries will be resolved as soon as possible. But if they didn't configure properly, we can get those informations easily. Service discoveries or what are there, regressions, and even there are a lot of scripts are there, so you can execute it. But at the moment, what I'm going to do is let me try with the zone transfer NSE. So let's go and nmap script. So for this zone transfer demonstration, what I'm going to use is there is a website zonetransferme.com. So that is a useful website for practicing and to understand those things and all. This is the web page. So they're giving, this is the domain, and so we're going to try test it and see how it goes. So let's go back to the terminal, and let's execute and try to do a zone transfer, so that you guys will get a more idea about it. So sudo nmap script, and the script name is DNS zone transfer .nsc, and the script argument, we have to give the script arguments asks is DNS zone transfer server. So from which server you want to transfer it. So the server what we are going to get it is, this is a server NST. So this is the one NST. Let me copy. Okay, nsztml.digi.ninja /DNS zone transfer.
server equal to zone transfer dot me. So this is the one. So let's run the script, and it is prompted for the password. It will take some time. So it seems like okay. Let's enter. Scanning is started. So the mistake what as I did is should I need to give a domain, but I just gave a server. So you can see that it's went, and you see, so DC office don't transfer. So these are the domains there. You can understand, so you can understand all the domains are available. So it's give you plenty of information so that you can, and it will give you more an IP address. So if you not did a proper zone transfer, then you can it will relieve most of the information. So you can see this DNS IP address and everything and all. So you have to configure the zone transfer properly. If you're not, so penetration during your penetration testings or hacker easily gain and they can do it on it. But yes, so using this is what using this script you can do a zone transfer. So let's go and see the next script is banner scanning. So banner scanning is whenever you are so banner is self-explanatory. So when you try to take a server of that machine or something else, usually there is a banner will be there. Using that banner you can understand what operating system is there or what service is there. So basically using that banner script, you can you maybe you'll get the versions, you can get the operating systems, you can, if they configured banners and if they're not configured properly, then there is a chances of relieving those informations. And as a part of a penetrations process, first step, you have to gather the informations. So the gathering informations will be helpful so that yes, you can understand versions of those things, and then you can go back vulnerabilities and exploits, then you can perform according to the thing. So let's go and see how to do a banner scanning. So the command is same. Instead of DNS, what we'll do, we'll run a banner and see, okay, there is only one script is there. So what we'll do is sudo nmap script banner.nsc, and the target in this is Metasploit framework 172.16.0.26. Let me check it again. Yes, IP is 26. So the scanning is started. Okay, so you can see that there is a FTP is running, and from the banner we can understand this is a FSPT version is 2.3.4, and the banner you can see is the domain name is metasploit table.local domain. So you can see that, and it is a Ubuntu, and you can see this. There are a lot of other banners are there. We can cipher it, and there is one more IRC is banner. You can see is authentication, look upping your host names. So these are the banner. Using this banner informations, you can identify the versions and those things. So you can see there is a SMTP service. Um, so this basically, this will review the information, the version numbers. Using the banner scan, you can get those information. So let's go and see SMTP. SMTP is simple mail transfer protocol. Let's go and see what is the script is there. SMTP. Okay, so this is the mail protocol. So basically any mail transfers, right? So this is using this SMT protocol only the communications are happening it. So using the scripts, there are, see, you can perform brute force attack, or you can understand what are the commands are used it. You can do a user enumerations. So or if there is any vulnerabilities are using this, if you want to expose something vulnerabilities, you can use the CV numbers and you can do it on it. So let's quickly and see, let's see the scan command, or yes, let's go and do it. Nmap. Let's understand what are the commands we can execute and we can get orders. Sudo script equal to, let me copy this to avoid typo, and let's paste it. And the target is 172.16.0.26, which is our Metasploit table 2. And the scanning is started. Let's wait for some more time to get the scan complete. Okay, so the scanning is completed. Then you can see that it gives information, and we can see the pipeline and verify intros, start TLS. So that basically we can get this what the port numbers and those things and all. Start and clear, TLS is there, status code, B time, DNS. So you can try this once, and let's see. Let's try to see. Let's try to see user animation. Any exchange user is there or not. Let's go and try the script. Instead of this one, what we'll do is instead of command, what we need to do is SMTP enumeration hyphen users dot NSEs, and we'll see it of it. Give enter. If any users are there, it will give us. I'm not sure. Metasploit table. Let's give a try on it. So there is no user, that's why it is giving this information. So yes, so because Metasploit, it doesn't have any, they haven't inserted much over there. So that's what, maybe in Metasploit 3, table 3, maybe you can get this all things, because that is a Windows based machine. So maybe you will get a more, maybe this script will be running over there. So yes, using the script, you can, let's go back and see what are the scripts are there. We'll try to run this CV and see what is happening over there. Copy sudo nmap script is equal to, and let's paste this CV script, and the target is 172.16.0.26. If any CV is present on this mission, then maybe this script will help us to penetrate into. Okay, so basically this script is having nothing, means the vulnerability is not exist on this mission. So that's why we're not getting any details. But I hope you guys got a pretty amount of good understanding on this one, what the scripts will do it on it. So next we'll see SMB, Samba scanning. So basically Samba scanning is a SharePoint which is used for multi-operating system. For example, you want to, a Linux system is there, and you want the Windows systems want to copy some file or transfer something else, or it's vice versa. So the Samba servers will help us to achieve those things. And if you didn't configure properly, maybe you can get some information from there. So let's clear it, and let's see what are the scripts are available for SMB. Okay, so these are a lot of scripts are there. So you can do an enumeration of domain, groups are available, what are the services are there, what is the shared it. So you can do a lot, and even CV numbers are there. What we will do is we'll run a basic, even you can do a brute force attacks also on the SMPs. If suppose you don't have a credential, means you understand a path, maybe you can do it. So what we'll do is like try to do a domain as Samba and script this script and see what is happening over there. So to do that, sudo nmap script is equal to, let's paste this one, and oops, there is no target, it's just started. So 172.16.0.26. Okay, the scanning is started. So basically it will do the enumeration of the domains, and it will give the details of it if Samba service exists on the Metasploit table 2. But mostly it will be there because I have seen in the scanning. Maybe let's wait for some time and we'll see. Okay, so this script is execution is failed. So maybe let's go and try some other script. Maybe we can, what you can do is even you can do a debug. Maybe when Spark compiling, it might be there or something else. But in the interest of the time, so let's go back and try a different, maybe we can system info. Let's copy and let's go back to the terminal. Sudo nmap script is equal to paste 172.16.0.26 target table. This will give the informations. Let's wait. Okay, I'm not sure why this is keep giving it. Okay, let's try and do one thing. Let's try to debug it. fnd. Okay, so this gives me the pretty of informations. So you can see this. You can perform sync NAC and it gives the path and what are the open ports are there using this script. Also, if some is not there, you can do what are the ports are available open and it initiate the self scan. So this script automatically does and gives the information like what are the open ports are available, and also it says that it's there, some system information is there. And let's see the last of this one is FTP, file transfer protocol. So basically this file transfer protocol is used to transfer the files, upload, downloads one. If you're not means if you're not properly configured the FTP, then there is a, when you are scanning, there is a chance of you can sometimes you can, if not configured properly, there is a chance of taking the remote of it and you can upload some document, executes payloads, all the things can be happened over there. So you have to be very conscious on this one. So let's go and quickly see what are the scripts are available for FTP. Okay, so you can see there is a C backdoor proc FTP and okay, so I can see this. So when we did a scan, so we find that FTP. Okay, so let's go and sudo sudo nmap sv 172.16.0.26. So you can see that there are CV number based also there. Even you can find out the user enumerations. You can do it. Who are the users, and based on that, you can do a brute force attack. And if suppose anonymous user is there, then you can log in with using the script. You can easily you can be there. Post seems like not bringing the prop. So let me see whether the Metasploit table is running. Mission is running. Let's give a one more try, or maybe I'll give a PN, because if anything is filtered, ping is blocked or something else, this will go and penetrate and get this information. So few servers, right, few industries, mostly they will block the ping those informations. Because ping also leave you the information. So basically the industry standard, when they doing OS imaging standard, so they will be blocking the one. So those types you can use this command to penetrate. Okay, see, this is the version and I can see this one. So let's try to see this script and let's see whether we can get into the mission. So yeah, so sudo nmap script is equal to, and let's paste the script. Again, I missed the target 170.16.0.26. And let's see. The script is executed. And if there is a vulnerability on this VSTP, then we will get the backdoor access. Okay. So yes, So this script is presentable, and we have exploit, and you can see the reference, and even the Metaflows frame have this exploit frame so that you can download and you can apply this payload. And if you are in a Kali Linux, it's Kali Linux comes with the Metasploit framework. Maybe you can go on this, which means payload, and you can execute. Then we can get into this mission. How to perform an Nmap scanning without getting detection. And we will end this series with tips and tricks. So for this demonstration, I've just installed a Windows 10 machine. We just going to scan the Windows this machine Nmap scan, and I have Wireshark is acting as a firewall. So if I do any scanning, this will be get captured. So what let me do, let me quickly start a capture, and let's go back, and this IP address is 172.16.0.21. So let's go and quickly start Nmap scan. So Nmap sudo Nmap, and the IP address is 172.16.0.27. Let me recheck it. 21. My bad. Let's go and quickly scan the machine. Okay, so scanning is completed. So I see that there are few ports are there. Let's come here and see. You can see this. So I'm just from the IP address. You can see this. This is the IP address of this machine. So the Wireshark identified there is a TCP scanning is going on. So if Wireshark able to detect it, then obviously the firewall get detected and it will review your IP address and what type of scan you are doing it, and there is a chances of it get returned. So how to overcome this one? So let me stop this one. So what we are going to do is shelter scan. First one is we're going to perform a shelter scan, and second thing is we're going to perform a OR based scan. So let's start with the shelter scan. To do shelter scan, sudo nmap sync packet t4 IP address is 172.16.0.21. So let me go back and start this. And let me start the scan. Okay. So syntax, it's a typo syntax. Let me stop it again. Okay. And let me ensure, yes, it started. So let me do a scan. Okay. So the scanning is completed. Let's go and quickly see what it is captured. So you can see that still the scan is detecting, but the earlier detection, it will be less because there are a lot of packets in the earlier we received it. There is a delay. Let's try to be more anonymous, do a scan. So what we'll do is, again, let me go and continue. So now what I'm going to do is, let me clear it. And in this one, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to spoof my IP address. Yes, and I'm just showing that I'm going to scan IP from this IP 14.0.21. Okay, so I find the syntax error. So sudo nmap, and this is we are going to, if there is any firewall ping packets, it will be help us do it. And -s, we just spoofing the IP address of this one. We just basically we just masking our real IP address, so that even though firewall detects, the IPs will be different, so that we can make a list of IP address. We can do a scan, so that in the scan the firewall thinks that the scanning happening from the different IP address, so will not be more suspicious on it. And -e, which interface this is going to on. So in my case, the interface is This is what the scan is going on. So I have to mention this, and followed by the target IP address. So yes, the Wireshark is ready. So let me shoot. The scanning is started, and you can see that still the Wireshark is bad, but you can see this. The scanning is happening from the IP spoofed address, so that we are not the Wireshark unable to detect the exact real IP address. So this is how you can spoof it with a multiple IP address, so that you can escape or you can prevent ideas getting blocked your Nmap scan during your penetration or ethical hacking time. So this is how you can spoof your IP address. So the scan is completed, and still we can see the results over there. So this is the one more way, and one more important, the last stealth scan is sudo, same thing, but we can add a fragmentation. The package will be fragmented into a small bytes. So for example, if you have a 20 bytes of TCP header, it will be splitted into three packets. So that 8 byte, and 4 byte. So that there is a chances of getting detected over there. So let's give a try on it. So this time I'm just going to change the IP address also. So in this time I'm just going to give a different IP, 10.10.2.6. And yes, before that, let's stop this one and let's start a new scan. So the Wireshark is ready too. So let's do a scanning. So the scanning is going on. So the scanning has started and it's going on. We'll go to the mission. So the new IP, the scanning is from the new IP, and since the fragmentation, you can see the difference. The results are reduced. It is not showing more earlier compared to earlier. It was complete. Their color was red color. You can see that. Still, it is very less, and there is a chances of it detecting very less. And I think the scan was completed. Okay, so this is how you can do a stealth scan, but still firewall will be detecting. It's not completely anonymous, but yes, this is how you can using the fragmentation options, you can fragment the packets, and using the spoofing option, you can spoof the IP address from the various IP address, so that the machines will think that, yeah, the scanning was performed from the different IP address. So the machine will not detect suspicious, or firewall ideas will not block your IP address. And second thing is, this is the stealth scan, so it's a very quick scan and you will get the results over there. And we'll see the method two is how we going to use a Tor scan. So to do that, we have to install Tor. To the command is sudo apt install Tor -s, and let's go and quickly install. Okay, so the Tor package is installed. Let me clear it, and let's go and quickly see the Tor status. Service Tor status. So Tor is working on it, so that this will anonymize your complete network TCP1. So still it is not started. We have to do one more thing, is we have to install proxy chain. Sudo apt install proxy chain. So this proxy chain is a very important. So what this will do is, this will use the proxies, and it will try to automatically, it will use the Tor network, and the IPs will be keep changing on it, so that you will be anonymous. You will be masking your IP address, and the scanning will be completely anonymous on your penetration and ethical hacking purpose. So let's the installations to get complete. So once installation complete, we have to make a few changes in the proxy configuration. Then we can start the service and good to go with the scanning of it. Okay, so the proxy chain is installed it. So let's go to the configuration, sudo nano act proxy chain.conf, and we will use dynamic scanning. We're just using a dynamic, and will not go into the stick, so that the dynamic is again each connections will be chained it, and every time it will be the list of IPs, proxy IPs will be used it, and in a dynamic way, so that you can so you will be anonymous. Or what we can do is we can use a random, that will be more stealth scan. So we'll use the option random chain. So SOC 4 is there and it is using this one. So yes, so it's good to go. Write it, and let's start the Tor service. Sudo to start the Tor service, sudo service Tor start. It will take some time. Okay, so let's quickly and go and see the what is the status of it. Okay, so it is active, so it is happening. So let's go and let me open a new tab, sudo proxy chains and nmap, and you can start this scanning. Let me again stop it, and let me start the scan. So the scanning is started, means the Wireshark is running, and you can see this, the scanning is completed, but I didn't find anything. So you can see it's completely anonymous. The scan was completely anonymous. You scan the information and you can see the what are the ports are there, but still the firewall is not detected the thing. So this is how you can do anonymous or UI plus proxy chain based Nmap scan when you are penetration testing on your penetration testing and ethical hacking. So this, by using this tech trick, you will, during your scanning process, you will not get detected by firewall or IDS. So you can see that the chain was we using a random chain, right? So this is going to the different IP address sequence and it's doing the scan, so that the scan is get completed. That is why Wireshark didn't able to capture it. So that's we have performed the anonymous stealth scan, Nmap scan. So this is how you can prevent your scannings from firewall and IDS IPS detections on it. So let's go back to the slide, and we are finally in the tips and tricks. So what we are going to see the tips and tricks is, so the tips and tricks is, so for the practice purpose, you can use this website. So scan.insecure.org. This is the site which is Nmap itself, they're providing it. And this website, it is an online domain tool which is Nmap scanning. So you can do a Nmap scanning web-based leads. You don't need to install anything. All you need to just visit this website and you can do a full scan or custom scan, whatever you wanted. You can just, it's a web-based one, so you can perform the scan. It is just free website, thanks to the developers. And the last tips and tricks is, whenever you're doing a scan, so it's one time you are doing scan, and how to save it as an output when you're penetration testing. So you have to produce as a report, right? So how to capture as a report? So let's, for this demonstration, what I'll do is let me scan.insecure.org website, and let me capture the output whatever comes over there at. Let me go to the terminal. Yes. So to do that, sudo nmap sv scan.insecure.org. In Nmap, you can do host-based host names also, not only the IP address. And option is capital O. And I need to save this output in home Fiber on the desktop. And the file name is scan.txt. Let me run this. So the scanning is started. So the scanning is started, and my bad, it is not a uppercase O, it's a smaller case O. And you can see this, the scanning is again, the scan.txt file is created, and whatever the output we are getting, it will be stored as well, so that in case you need it in the future, you can refer it, or when your penetration reports, you can attach this nmap scan reports, and you can give produces to the client, your client, or to the internal part. So you can see this is what happening over there. And let's quickly open this notepad. Yeah, so you can see this same information has been captured as a text, so that you can use this information in the future, or as I said, you can attach on your penetrations report. That's it, guys. I hope you guys got a pretty good amount of understanding of Nmap and how to scans and everything in this complete series 1 and series 2 and series 3. If you have any questions or suggestions, please comment below. If you think the video is useful, please consider giving a like and sharing. Show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Thank you all. See you soon with another interesting series. Until now, bye. Signing off.